Hey, it's your girl Penn Speaks, and here I am to answer the question for Cree Ingles Idol Search All-Star Season Round 8. And this week we were supposed to share, about a bad relationship, give our perspective, what we learned. And for me, I'm going to talk about a relationship I had when I was in college. I've had a couple of bad relationships, but this one is one that sticks out to me. I was a freshman in college, became really good friends with this guy. We became the best of friends. We were inseparable. If you saw him, you saw me, vice versa. And, we kind of became these best friends, and it kind of crossed that line into a relationship where we were, we really truly cared about each other and we loved each other. And we just never really had that boyfriend-girlfriend title. And in the beginning, that was fine, but towards around my junior year, a girl asked me, she said, "Whatever happened to you and Ice?" And I said, "What do you mean? I mean, he's still someone I truly care about, and we still hang out." And she said, "That's funny, because when I asked him, he seemed confused, like, well, what are you talking about?" Or, "I don't know what you're talking about." And for me, that crushed me. That was the moment when I realized and kind of woke up like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, here I am putting my everything and caring for a person who doesn't even see me in the same light. And even though they might tell me that they care and that they do want a relationship or want to, grow the relationship that we have, the truth of the matter is they don't. And that crushed me. I think I didn't talk to him for a long time after that, because it was that moment that I realized I had been just putting way too much into this. And although he wasn't the greatest person at the time, like he didn't treat me, greatly or have as high respect for me as I had of him. I blame myself because I allowed that to happen. I ignored the signs. My intuition said, you know what, and if it don't feel right, most of the time it's not right. But I ignored those signs, and so it's kind of like I allowed myself to be hurt. And it was at that moment that I realized, it was time for that to stop. That it's time that I care about myself and love myself enough to know that I deserve better and that I need to demand better and be treated better. And so in that relationship, I really learned that, you have to have yourself straight first. You can't truly love someone if you don't love yourself. And from that point on, I really focused on myself, getting myself together. Yeah, I talked to a few people here and there, but as far as me, the main relationship I needed to be in was with myself and with God. And I didn't have time for all that other foolery. And I ended up going to grad school, where I really focused on getting my education, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And that's when I met Jermaine. And even when I met him, I still had my guard pretty high up, because, to me, he was just like trying to get in my picture. And it was all about me. I love myself. You're trying to mess things up here. But after a while, after we initially started dating, I realized that he loves me unconditionally. He's always going to be there. And that's what made the difference. And then I realized, that I had a good man in front of me. And I don't even think I would have been able to fully understand that had I not been through the mess and bad relationships that I have been through. So if anything, I learned to love myself. I learned to demand more for myself, to care about myself. And I also learned that, or realized, I guess you could say, that, you don't have to put up with this. So if you know somebody that's going in a bad relationship, if you're in a bad relationship, you deserve better. I always tell people, you may feel like, well, I'm always going to be single, or I'm always by myself, but you got to give God time to write that amazing love story. And I think by focusing on me and loving myself, God was writing up a masterpiece. And now I'm happily married. And even Ice, I mean, we're cool, we're okay. He's married, we're all right. And I realized that everything happens for a reason, and you know what, it's time for me to take care of myself. And I hope and pray that if you're going through the same thing or been through the same thing, that you've realized that too, and you're not putting up with anyone's mess, because you don't deserve it. You're too beautiful for that. So that's my bad relationship. Like I said, I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't gone through it. So thank you to all my exes and people that gave me crap. Thank you for helping me be the person that I am today. Until next time, much love.